Okay, welcome aboard, everyone. I am Sahiti Kuchi. I am a Gen Z at Soil. I have I've had a lot of experience at Soil, and I have been a part of our COVID classrooms and other activities at Soil. So I'll start off with introducing Soil. So, SOIL stands for School of Innovation and Leadership. And we at SOIL, every week, Friday, we have a sessions called our FryDay sessions, where our participants or our Gen Zs here come up with a really good topic to speak on for about an hour. And here at Soil, we have the AI Journal, which is the publishing house, where we have monthly articles published by our Gen Zs. And most of our meetings are conducted on the cloud campus. And we have Ask Anjali, who's our conversational bot on our website, designed by our Gen Zs. So at Soil, we have learned a lot of problem solving skills and out of the box thinking, and it really helped us to put in our best in everything that we do. And next slide, please. Thank you. So Soil is a cloud campus, as I have mentioned before. It is an after school or college campus for Gen Zs, which means the age of 13 to 25. And it is a boundaryless campus with participants from across the globe. Our subscriptions are on an annual base, or yeah, and we follow a work to learn model, which is venture-based learning, where we learn things by getting hands-on experience with the tool. So as of now, our labs are our new classrooms, and they are hosted by world-class mentors and industry experts. And just to name a few, we have the AI labs, the digital twins, urban farming labs, etc. You can learn more about Soil on our website, www.soilcampus.com. And we are currently open for admissions, and you will find the application form as well on the website. So today's topic is AI the perfect tool to explore space? Let's find out more from our Gen Z Aditya. Aditya is a computer and astronomy enthusiast, and he's currently in 11th grade. So over to you, Aditya.
Thank you, Sariti, for the wonderful introduction. So, greetings to everyone here. Thank you for attending this Gen Z session by me. And a little bit about me, though Sahiti has introduced me, but I am resident of Bhopal. I'm 16-year-old, and currently I'm in grade 11th, studying at Delhi Public School, Bhopal. And if you are curious enough, so I am in PCM stream. So that's it. And I am an intern currently at AI Journal, which is the publishing house for Soil. So I publish articles. To be really specific, I publish scientific articles. And currently I'm publishing on artificial intelligence in interdisciplinary with astronomy. So let's just move forward with the session. So here we go. So a little bit about AI Journal and my work in it. Currently, I'm a storyteller. As per me, if you ask, it's a really wonderful opportunity for you to express your skills in whichever subject you have, inclusive of your knowledge and all your expertise you have in the form of articles. So it's not actually limited to your only artificial intelligence, because it provides you an opportunity to blend other subjects with it. So it's really amazing to do this. And it's a platform where students of various ages can contribute. So if you like, definitely you should, I encourage you to contribute. It's really amazing. So let's move forward with it. Here's a recent article, one of my first articles, which I published on AI in astronomy. You can just have a look. I'll share the link at the end of the meeting, so you can just have a look at it. It was based on a basic introduction upon how artificial intelligence is included in your astronomy. So you can just have a look at it, and then let me know if any feedbacks. And before beginning with the real session, I just wanted to say that if there's anything which I don't make sense or you don't understand or want me to rephrase, please do please just say that in the chat section. I'll be more than happy to do that. So okay. So before starting the session, before I show you my other slides, a very simple question I wanted to ask to all of you present here is, what is your perspective when artificial intelligence, the word artificial intelligence, comes to your mind, and what is your take on it? So I just would like to have some answers in the chat section if someone wants to, though is no compulsion, but let's make it a bit more interactive session rather than a monotonous one. So yeah. So just a second, sorry for that. Okay, so Kiran ma'am has right now said that it's okay. Am I not audible or what? Okay, is it better now? My microphone was just off. So okay.
Yeah, it's better. It's better, Aditya.
Okay, then let's move forward. So absolutely. Basically, looking into the bookish languages and all the textbooks we have read throughout our education period, we have, oh, there is one answer, simulative cognitive abilities. Okay, flashy words. So really good answer. Thank you. Thank you for the answers. Imitating natural intelligence, that's a good answer as well. So whenever I said this word, when I said this word of artificial intelligence, I don't want you to give me bookish statements or something like it's a computer software or something. The word should have a meaning which actually satisfies you, is relatable to you. You do something in your world, like you design a robot or something like that. It is relatable to you. You design a robot, you make it more, do some other tricks, some really good other things. You can do that. So it is relatable to you in that sense, that you code that robot, you tell it to jump 3 times, you do all that sort of crazy things with that technology, and hence artificial intelligence makes you like it is relatable to you at that sense. So yeah. So Divyanshi right here says that is Doraemon. Okay, so nice example there. So yeah, absolutely. The bamboo copter and that gadgets which are there are pretty good. So I found it to be one of the most inspiring cartoons I've ever saw, uh, from the technology perspective as well. So robots flying in space. Yeah, absolutely. So these are all just, you can call it as examples. You can call them as pure meanings for artificial intelligence. So thank you for your answers. It's really cool to see your answers, guys. Thank you. Okay, then move forward. Let's move forward. So what is my take on artificial intelligence and actually what it is? Uh, when we hear the word artificial intelligence, what do you imagine? You have probably listed that in the chat section. So let's just think about it. Think about the word itself, artificial intelligence. It's made up of 2 words, containing one being artificial, one being intelligent. Now, when you hear the word intelligent independently, what do you think? Probably a person like Albert Einstein might pop up in your imagination, solving equations, and some crazy professor from MIT or something like that. Or probably you would be seeing something like a supercomputer, or something like a Tesla car or something cool, sort of that thing. So you would be imagining those stuff. And why is that? Because it is relatable. It is an intelligent thing. It is autonomous, like a Tesla car. It can drive its own self, and it has that autonomous system in it. Then a supercomputer is extremely powerful form of computer. It will definitely have much more capacity to store information and to process information to unimaginable extents. And so these are some cool stuff which you hear, which you actually imagine when the word intelligent comes to you. So any other form of intelligent, when the word intelligent comes in your mind, please share it with us in the chat section. I would be really happy to know it. So you can just interact with it. Any statement you can interact. There's no problem with it. So, okay, then moving forward. From the slide, if you look at it, I have written down some points. Some of your people would find them monotonous, I'll just read them out of you. So, okay, so artificial. What does it means? Again, the word artificial. AI is comprised of the word artificial as well. So, what does it means to you? Probably, like you can answer here. I just want to see some answers here from you guys.
Okay, then let's just give them a minute. Participants, feel free to give your take on the word artificial, right, Aditya?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right. Then let's just give them a minute. So,
Okay,
so
we
there you
have.
go. We have.
Uh, doesn't happen naturally, inculcated, exactly. Yeah, not natural, exactly. uh, yeah, really appropriate answers given by you guys. Thank you so much. uh, yeah, so in speaking in context of technology or computer science, you would probably think artificial is something like a computer software, hardware, or something which is not see, we know that it is not naturally produced. It is made by humans. So might be a humanoid or something which cannot, like, uh, it might be anything. Literally, it might be a kind of a supercomputer, as I mentioned earlier. It can be a hardware device or something like that. So yeah, exactly. So man-made. Yeah, thank you, Anju. So yeah, so you guys give the appropriate answers for it, and uh, keep your imaginative possibilities to a really high extent, because I would like to see a more kind of colorful session, so as to name it. So
Okay.
okay, so okay, so from professionals to kids, if you look, the meaning indicates that computer software of some clever type of robotic stuff. Why I'm saying this is, when you hear the word artificial intelligence again, you probably think I said that you think of robots and all those other cool stuff of some space rocket or something like that. So you think of it. So from professionals even to kids, all of them have certain relatable aspects of that imagination. So it's really cool. And yeah, so but surprisingly, when you find it, like when you match it out, so from the books we have studied, the textbooks we have of computer science in schools, we have read those, and we find several photos, like yeah, images of artificial intelligence, like a circuit, a really large circuit, or a humanoid's brain, or probably a robotic hand and a human hand connecting, like this, something like that. So the image will come in the further session, so you can just relate with it. So yeah, and it actually matches exactly with the school books, and the school books are, I don't think so, they are pretty good in explaining what is artificial intelligence, because it kind of makes your life harder to learn, and that's why we don't give appropriate answers in examinations. So that might be a reason for it. So okay, just a second. So we need to understand what is the essence of the meaning. We know the meaning, that artificial intelligence is a computer software. It is intelligent. It is autonomous system. It can do all this, all the cool stuff. But you need the essence of the meaning. What actually it indicates, the words. So okay. So artificial, what the word artificial means, we have interacted with it earlier. So artificial is something that does not exist already. Like from the age of, if you talk about a simple example of mobile phones, yeah, so mobile phones were developed a couple of a century ago or something like that. So you know that mobile phones were developed, they were invented, and the telephones were invented. They were not given to us by nature. They were not a product of nature. So hence we call it as an artificial invention by human beings. So it is something man-made. It is something which we produce. And probably there are some aspects, like if we discuss one of my examples, a chocolate bar. Okay, that is not related to technology for that aspect. Let's just focus on an example like chocolate bar. So chocolate bar is produced with cocoa and sweetness, other sweetness. So cocoa is a naturally occurring substance. It is a plant-based product. You know that, but you can't just eat it like that. It will be absolutely worse if you eat it. So you would then what did the people do? They mixed up sugar with it. They created something which is tasty to us, which is giving us satisfaction of like taste. It's really a tasty to us, and it's giving satisfaction of eating to us. So you didn't find chocolate bars falling out of the skies. Nature didn't give you those. We created them. So yeah, though it would have been very cool if it could fall out of the skies. Okay, so Dr. Balaji Utla here says humans made, probably humans also create the things. Yeah, of course. I actually yeah, actually that's really correct. So yeah, the thing is that something which is created by humans, which is invented by humans, means artificial. That's the thing. It's not naturally occurring. So that's the thing. Exactly. Divyanshi has said artificial has an art behind which seems real. Yeah, exactly. It now you're relating it with art as well. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay. So let's move forward with it. So now we come to the word of intelligence. So intelligence is, as my father personally said to me, that you should probably solve your whole maths book at once and solve it 5 to 6 times so that you score good at exams, and then you would be considered as intelligent person. Well, I was a bit kind of judgmental in that case, but actually to my surprise it holds true in particular aspects, but it depends upon the person. What does intelligence means to him or her? It depends on the person. It doesn't, it is about your perspective. It is not about the world's perspective. So solving a maths book, if a person likes math a lot, then solving a maths book probably would be intelligent thing for him. He would be considered intelligent. He will be developing his skills in that subject. So he would then be considered as intelligent. Whereas if you tell a dancer to solve a whole math book or something, like create something, invent something, he or she wouldn't be able to do it. They will not take interest in it. So intelligent would not be relatable to them. Rather, if you say them, you should probably participate in various dance shows, or take classes, or read about the history of Indian dances, they would be much more comfortable and really good in them. So that will be the aspect which will judge their intelligence on for them. So it should be relatable to you. It should not be relatable to the whole world. It should be your perspective. So yeah, the second statement here says that it is actually synonymous, that practice makes a man perfect, but it is in your domain again, as I said. Then intelligence, if you take it from the example of philosophy, as various philosophers had put it, and through the developed meanings, we have developed a meaning here. So it is actually a problem. Like if you have a problem in front of you, like if you take an example that you need to solve an equation, a mathematical equation. You are not able to solve, though you are intelligent in mathematics, but you're not able to solve that. So hence, if you're not able to solve that problem, you can't be considered as intelligent. The intelligence is the prediction of the future results on basis of your problem solving capabilities of that problem. So if you get to solve a mathematics problem, you need to provide proper evidences that it is the correct answer. You need to predict it is a correct answer. So that's the thing, you need to do that. Hence you would be considered as intelligent. That is one of the meanings given by philosophy. So just to share one of them. So in the cases, now jumping back to again the cases of machines, if you take it, uh, I find it relatable to the statement experience makes a machine more accurate. So I would just like to ask a few of the people down here that have you heard of that amazing machine called Cheetah, made by MIT, that is Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So
Yes.
sorry,
Yep.
just sorry for that. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool, right? It's like jumping around like a dog, and all those things which an animal can do, it is able to do that to a very large extent. It's very cool. I saw that first and I was like, wow, amazing. So what it is doing now, how will I make this statement relatable to it? Experience makes a machine more accurate, as it was relatable to the human beings as well. We can make it relatable in the sense that a code is written to uh, basically tell that machine what to do. Like if you code and say that, okay, the cheetah do a jump. If you say that, if you code it in the language of computers, so the cheetah will do a jump. Now if you tell it that you have to jump and then roll, so you need to have put the first code as well as a new code which says you need to do a roll. But the cheetah has already gained the experience that the first code said that it had to do a jump, so it is well experienced and well versed with that code, so it will be easily doing it without any errors. And absolutely, the thing, one more thing which is pretty cool in this, that in machines, probably various students in school have saw that I have saw that when you're coding in SQL or Python, you see a syntax error kind of stuff. So that says that your code might be wrong, or some spelling mistakes, or some different caricatures might be put into that. So there's some error in that statement. So uh, when we put enormous amounts of code into a machine and help it to recognize those code, it becomes more efficient in understanding what's right and what's wrong. So if it is telling you what's wrong, if it's giving you that syntax error, then you're probably on the right track to code that machine, because it is now gaining that experience to be more accurate. So I'll be the person in this case to be relative, like to relate. I would relate it in this way. So moving forward with it. Sorry for that. Sorry. Okay. So now jumping back to space sciences, for which I have been called here. I am not a subject matter expert, so I hope you like this session about it. So just don't judge me on that. So space science is really an unpredictable and uncertain field where you can't judge the possibilities. You can predict the future prospects, but you cannot judge what will happen next. Any second, anything can go wrong. If you take an example of a satellite in low Earth orbit, or something like that, if a satellite is roaming around, or if you take the example of ISS, that is the International Space Station, you will understand that basically, like, you would understand it in a way that, okay, it is rotating around the earth. Pretty simple, nothing more to understand about it. It's simple, it's rotating. But there are several aspects which underlie in space sciences. Like in a space mission, if you have to control, if you have to maneuver a space satellite, or even a space station or something like that, you need to understand what are the factors that might limit it. Like uh, in this case, recently a news came out about from various scientists from Caltech, MIT, that the magnetic field of Earth is shifting. So I think probably, how many of you have heard of it? I just wanted to know. It's a really cool stuff. Like out of the blue moon, magnetic field of Earth is shifting. And that is not a normal thing actually. That is really something which would harm even the smaller, even to the size of pixels. It would corrupt the images of which would be taken by like if you take the example of Hubble Space Telescope, the images taken by it would hinder the images taken by it. Again, it would be hindering the maneuver of the space satellites. Even it has the capability even to destroy the whole satellite. It could leave the whole satellite blacked out. So yeah, so that's really kind of uncertain and kind of unpredictable status. Anything can happen. A gamma ray burst can wipe out whole the whole the satellite community, the whole satellite community. You can't say anything. You just need to be vigilant and have accurate future prospect. We can only have approximations to a very accurate level, but not exact values of what is going to happen. So that's the thing. Nothing to do about it, just coping up with it. So, but here in this case, if we take the example of maybe 1946, 1940, just a random date, nothing specific about it. Uh, Satellites were being launched, machines were being built for space, rovers were being built, the rover plans were being implemented. So the things which technology engineers and scientists were missing, that they needed something, that something was missing in that machine that could help it to maneuver itself. It could help to it could make it an autonomous system. It could help to assist other space missions, other space satellites. So something was missing in that. And during this era, artificial intelligence was in boom. Computer science was making a huge progress. Supercomputers were started to being built up, and even quantum computers had their ideas implemented. So it was not being built, but the ideas were being implemented. So over the years, we saw artificial intelligence to be just branching out in other sectors as well. And you take example from Amazon's delivery facility to any other thing like a supply chain management system or something like that. Even in space science has the most implementation of artificial intelligence as per date, because it's a very, very vast field. It involves a lot of subjects and a lot of intricacies are involved in it. So hence AI is one of the best candidates till date that helps, which is considered as a pillar of astronomy and space sciences. So why is that? We'll be discussing it further. Okay, so some illustrations which I would like to share with all of you. The Perseverance rover, I think everybody knows about it. The famous mission of NASA. I think it occurred last month in August. So the last week of August, I suppose, something like that. So Perseverance rover is really amazing. Now, quick question to all of you: that what do you think Perseverance rover might have inbuilt in it to detect? Like Mars has possibilities of life on it. Mars has possibilities of probably oxygen in its atmosphere. Possibly we can create oxygen. There is no oxygen in the atmosphere, but we can extract the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and convert it into oxygen. So how many of you think, like, what is your take on what is the like artificial intelligence, how is it incorporated in Perseverance rover? You can just answer it here. So what are the mechanisms, what are the devices you think are there on Perseverance rover? Not any specifications like 35 megapixel camera, no, not like that. What are the techniques or what you think of it? So you can just answer it here. I am looking into it.
I think it collects the samples from the surface,
Yeah, exactly, sir.
right?
That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. Uh, Samples collection, like the Perseverance rover was specially sent for detection of life on Mars and to study about its topology, the Martian topology.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, exactly. Collecting sand sediments to detect life on Mars. The coolest part, I would actually would be really would be really interested to show you a video, but sorry for that. I didn't access it. I couldn't quite access it. There was a video. If you guys search, you will get it. There was a video of animation created by NASA's JPL, in which the Perseverance rover has a drill machine attached to it, which is drilling about, I guess, meters, some meters around 2 meters. It drills and then collects the samples and keeps it inside its box, a sample box, so that it can send it back to Earth, so that we can have a study on it. So in this case also, if we look into the intricacies of the machine, not into the specifications, into the intricacies of the machine, we find that it is able to collect things. It is able to uh, access the all the other sediments and all the Martian topological evidences we have. It collects it into the sediment box. But the real thing is that, imagine, you have to imagine in this case, yeah, Usha ma'am also says that cameras and sensors, yeah, exactly. It basically converges to a point, to the main goal of detection of life and atmospheric studies of Mars. All the things, the devices, the cameras, all the things converges to a point of the goal to detect life on Mars, as well as to detect whether we can create oxygen. Recently, a device named MOXIE, created by Caltech professors, has been on board the Perseverance rover, which would be extracting the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and converting into oxygen. A really amazing machine, but a really complicated one as well. So yeah, so jumping into the Perseverance rovers again, the intricacies of it. Imagine you have the drilling hand. Imagine a hand of Perseverance rover which drills inside the soil. Now, how does artificial intelligence is incorporated in it? It's very amazing if you just deep dive into it. The sediments which it is picking up and then it is collecting in the box, what you need to do, what do humans need to do? It just needs to code the start point and the end point. What I mean to say by this statement is that it just needs to say that you need to pick this up, you need to pick this thing up, you need to drill in this area and just transfer it into the sediment box or whatever they are collecting with, whatever device they are collecting it with. But you know that there are different things in it, like the hand has specific movements. There is, the hand needs to make, in 1 second the hand needs to make a specific movement to reach the target area of drilling. But that's not specified. That's the only thing which is specified, is that the where it is to be drilled and where it is to be kept. That is only coded, and that is provided to the Perseverance rover. But we are not giving it extra codes or some bulky information about you need to move you need to move that Perseverance hand at angle theta for in the interval of 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, like that. We are not doing that. We are just specifying the end code and the final code. The start code and the final code. So the Perseverance rover is doing the rest. That is artificial intelligence. It is semi-autonomous. That is, it can control itself. It can take decisions that how much angle it needs to move its hand to collect that sediment, that exact sediment. So that's the thing. One of the most interesting aspect. Quite tough to explain though. I hope I made a bit sense.
Yes, yes,
So,
we could imagine.
so
Yeah,
it's a
just
very
imagining it makes it easy to understand the concept, no? So you have to know where to hit and how hard it is and what to pull and digging. It's not
exactly,
like
exactly.
the exact shape, right? It moves and it drops. So you have to, yeah.
So Anju ma'am was earlier saying here was thinking of an artificial plant that CO2 which converted into oxygen. Exactly. So there is just a prototype of MOXIE, a really cool machine on board the Perseverance rover. And to my curiosity, though I was expecting it, but not so quick, Elon Musk is planning to launch his the crew of to the Mars, the Starship missions. So he's going to build a full propellant plant. A full colonization of Mars would be implemented in the year 2025, I guess. Uh, and the testing is going awesome, as per SpaceX's news. So it's really amazing. Now jumping into Falcon and what I'm saying, Falcon 9, sorry, Falcon 9 rocket. So it is one of its kind. It's one of its kind rocket. It is a reusable rocket. Wow, how cool is that? A rocket which is reusable. Now, what kind of reusability it has? I think probably all of you know that what reusability it has. It just goes into the atmosphere, it leaves the satellite there and comes back elegantly in the most elegant manner. And the surface on which it lands is named with utter fascination as a drone ship. A pretty cool name given by SpaceX. Uh, so it's amazing. I really love this rocket because the technology involved is awesome, really awesome. But let's just jump into artificial intelligence and implementing in it. Now, I would like to ask all of you that what do you think of, like, again, the same question which I framed in Perseverance rover. I would like to ask that what kind of artificial intelligence is involved in Falcon 9 rocket? Reusability, in what sense it helps? Artificial intelligence, in what sense it is helping in it? So just if you could stop. Uh, Okay, I think some technical issues from my side or something. Shrikant sir is saying, just a second, guys. I'll just stop sharing and start sharing once again. I think some technical issues from my end.
You're good now, Aditya. The screen is now
Okay, cool, sir.
clear. Yeah.
So, okay, so let's just continue. So I just framed the question that what might you think as artificial intelligence, how would it help in Falcon 9's reusability, so-called reusability? So you can just answer it here. Okay, I see some answers. Yeah, exactly. Payload for multiple launches. That's uh, that's actually the main thing which Falcon 9 rocket does. The principal job it has to do, and yeah, it reduces costs. It does all those things. But the interesting part, and I am also writing an article on this, so you can just probably go when it's online. The article when it's online, I'll mention it, guys. The thing is, the intricate part of the thing is that the rocket is going to the atmosphere, again coming back, then again for the second mission it is going to the atmosphere, then again coming back. So it has two space missions at once from the one rocket. So now just imagine, I earlier mentioned that machine learns from experience that we provide to it, the codes we provide to it. It analyzes and it adjusts its mechanism according to it. So probably, I don't know if it is implemented or not, or will it be, but I think if it is not, then it probably will be a hypothesis from my side that Falcon 9 is having a single rocket of Falcon 9 is having multiple missions, right? So it knows that at what speed it should land back and at what speed it should escape the Earth's atmosphere to to put the satellite into the low Earth orbit or whatever orbit it is, so geostationary orbit or something like that. So it knows the specifications we provided to it. It has received multiple codes, the same codes multiple times for multiple missions. So it has the experience, it's gained the experience to maneuver its own self. So probably in the future we can see Falcon 9 to be something, Falcon 12 or Falcon 13, we can see it to be absolutely autonomous. It would only need to be coded as start code and the end code, that you need to go to the low Earth orbit and you need to come back to the drone ship. We just need to mention that the rest will be done by its own. So it would be a pretty cool thing if it is a possibility in the future. So it's really amazing. So yeah, and it would also, yeah, as Kiran ma'am specified it, it would recognize its path and trajectory. It would have those statistics, those data inbuilt in it. It would have that experience to maneuver itself on its own. So the accuracy overall would be exceptional in this case. So let's move forward with it. Few more examples from my side that artificial intelligence is how it is implemented in the universe. See, the universe is, as I mentioned earlier, it's very unpredictable, and a lot of cosmic phenomena occur in the universe, which are, to our utter fascination, are either unimaginable or something really cool. So, like if I talk about gravity waves are, if you can imagine it in the way that if you throw a stone in a pond, you would see that where you throw the stone at that initial point, you would see ripples going out of that central point. So gravity waves are the same, though they are not visible, but they are the same thing. As per the Albert Einstein's theory of general relativity, that space-time is it's basically a fabric. If you imagine it as a curtain, a curtain is a space-time. It can be bent. So gravity waves are ripples on that surface. If you can imagine it, I hope you can relate with it, from ripples which are created on the surface of water. So something like that, something sort of. So gravity waves, but uh, to till date, they are occurring really like they occur far off from us. They are like billions and billions of light years away from us, because we don't have any stars rotating us or some black hole near us, so we can't detect gravity waves with a higher magnitude. We don't have higher magnitude. We have extremely low magnitude, till an extent of the half the size of a proton. So you can imagine what the size of a gravity wave would be, the wavelength of a gravity wave would be. It would be extremely difficult to measure it. So I so basically, if you think of it as, see, if you just imagine that a black hole is rotating another black hole, you will just see you just imagine a thing that the ripples are gravity waves. They are just going outwards to us, reaching to us. They travel at a speed of light. They reach to us, but they're so small that we can't even detect them. We can't feel them at all. But if we are really close to that, we would be actually distorted heavily, and will be actually destroyed completely. So sorry for that news, but we are not really close to any black holes, so not to fear anything. So scientists are basically doing one thing which is very awesome. The thing is a machine known as LIGO. How many of you have heard of LIGO? I think probably a discovery just a week ago has happened, that it discovered one of the most impossible black hole collisions. If not, no problem with it. I know it happens. So actually, what happened was LIGO is a really amazing system. It is actually an observatory which it is huge. It is huge, like 4 kilometers of arms. It has some arms, really. I'll show you the image. You can relate it then, probably. And it has large mirrors, and mirrors to the quality that no one can match. It is so perfect, the mirrors. And the quality of that machine is extraordinary. No machine ever made is so precise and so accurate to that machine. So it's really amazing. And if you're wondering what LIGO stands for, it is Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, which is yeah, pretty pretty a big name. But LIGO stands for short. It's cool. LIGO is okay, we can understand it. So yeah. So what happens in the case is, when gravitational waves hit LIGO, what happens? LIGO detects it in a very cool manner. I'll not explain it because it's a bit advanced, and it cannot be explained by me as well. I'm not a subject matter expert, but yeah, that's a really cool thing. So just a thing. These are a few more examples that having no boundaries, the telescopes and all the things which we have, the machines which we are having in astronomy, they are used to detect the anomalies in the universe. Like if you take the example of telescopes, why are they created? Why the telescopes were created? Why do we have automated telescopes? The reason being, one of the major reasons being, human eye, we have a limited field vision and a limited quality of imaging. We cannot process ultra HD quality of imaging, something like that. We can't do that. So hence, a telescope has a much larger field of vision, and it can cover the universe at a much larger surface area. So that's the thing. That's the main motive behind making telescopes, so that to make observational astronomy easier to study. So some of the illustrations, really cool images here. So this is the LIGO, which is currently in the, I guess, this is the Hanford Observatory, operated by Caltech and MIT in collaboration. This is the machine. These are 4-kilometer long arms, and these detect distortions in space-time. That is the ripples, which I earlier explained in space-time. This is the National Radio Astronomy Observatory in New Mexico, a really cool radio telescope. Radio telescopes are automated telescopes which has inbuilt artificial intelligence in them, so as to have an autonomous system of imaging. It images the skies with radio waves. So that's a pretty cool thing. Recently, NASA and European Space Agency in collaboration together programmed the Hubble Space Telescope and incorporated artificial intelligence, really advanced artificial intelligence in them. So as to make it more autonomous, so as to enable it to take its own decisions and to detect really small changes in the universe, like really small, if you say, galaxy coming near to another galaxy, 13 or 14 billion light years away from us. So it is used to detect that. It has been updated by NASA and ESA in collaboration. So just an insight into it. Yeah, so the last part of the session, which I would like to share with you all, one of my favorites is the colorful imaging in astronomy. The colorful imaging. The image you see down below is, sorry for that, just a second. This is a butterfly nebula taken by the Hubble telescope. And the image you see, now I just wanted to ask a quick question to all of you. The image which you currently see, is it the way actually the image is? I don't think so I'm making sense, but this image actually is not what it seems. I would explain it in the next slide. So you can just go ahead with your theories and all the hypotheses which you like to put. So moving forward. Image formation with AI, the final position here. So the image at the side you see is a famous image taken by the Hubble Space Telescope. It is named as the Pillars of Creation. This image is actually this colorful. No, it's not that colorful. The thing is, it is taken in 3 filters, that is the red, green, and blue. Hubble Space Telescopes takes images in 3 different filters. So yes, NASA, as you probably in Instagram, would be using filters in Hubble Space Telescope as well. So it combines those data, enormous amounts of data together to form this colorful image which you have in front of you. So the image processing and the collection of data, all this is handled by artificial intelligence in itself. So a dedicated system of supercomputers and extremely large computers, I don't know what they call them, but they are dedicated to only doing this task. Okay, so I hope you have seen the slides, so let's move forward with it. Okay, the last part of the session. These are the 2 pictures. One of my favorite is the int ball, which is just like a Google Assistant which you have at home, or Alexa. It is developed by the Japanese Space Exploration Company, or the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Company, JAXA. And it is on board the ISS, along with the Simon 2.0, which is developed by the German scientists, German engineers, which is also on board the ISS. These are space assistants, which provide different, as you can chat with them, you can have a chat with them, and they can also store data, they can record videos, all sort of things which you can imagine. They can also fly. Of course, it's 0 gravity, so they can fly too. So yeah, these are the 2 things. So yeah, so let's move forward. We are at the end of the session. So closing questions to you guys, so that you can ponder upon them and maybe get back to us later. What will be the future of artificial intelligence according to you? And space science, how exciting will it get in the future? What will happen? And the second one is a bit scary, but a really interesting question. will we ever have to embrace space travel, or will it become a compulsion? Like, will it become for us necessary to travel to Mars, or we can just enjoy ourselves on Earth? Well, I think the other one will be good. We will have to escape our planet to achieve greatness, to become multiplanetary species. So yeah, I'm open for questions now. For anyone who would like to have questions.
Okay, so we are open for questions. So anybody wants to ask a question, raise your hand and we'll unmute you.
In the meanwhile, I did share a link on the chat box, a small form, a feedback form for us to understand better on how you've liked the session and your views. So please just take out 2 minutes of your time to fill in that form. I will be sharing it again.
Okay, Saiti.
Madhu is raising her hand.
Yeah. Hi. It was a nice session, by the way. So I like to ask a question, which might not be a generic one over here, but why that the word rocket science is more famous actually? Why people call it as in rocket science, rocket science? Because we are talking
Okay,
about
I
space
get.
and a lot of other things as well. I mean, might be a tricky question, but for me, I have one of the funny reason, but I don't know. I want to know a clear explanation that what exactly is the rocket science.
Actually, I would encourage you to share that reason, the funny reason. I would be good.
Okay, because the only funny reason is that I don't understand what exactly is there in the rockets.
Okay, so rocket
Okay,
science, according to me, if you take, I'm not a subject matter expert, although, but
no, 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 on a
just
generic terms.
yeah. So on the generic, generalized way, if you call it rocket science, to me, see, from the very beginning, the things which were developed, the machines which were developed. If you take the example of the first rocket, it was named as rocket for that purpose. So from that, the actually I would say the legacy continues. The legacy of that word continues till date. And the science word, of course, it explains that the science behind the rocket, the launching up of the space mission of the rocket, the maneuvering of that rocket. So these all clubbed together makes the word science, and rocket just continues its legacy from the date it was invented till date. So that's from my perspective. I hope probably it made sense. So yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Hey Aditya, great presentation. I have learned a lot from your session today. Something I'm gonna check myself is about LIBO. I wanna do more research there. Thanks for sharing. So a question, I think this would be on behalf of all the Gen Zs, if they are listening to me. Let's say someone is really inspired by your presentation today and like to pursue more or career options in future in this arena.
Yeah.
What are your recommendations based on your experience, or what is your future target in your career in astronomy?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, actually, what I feel is, although I was first not a astronomical enthusiast, I would like to share that. I saw one movie which one of my friends also recommended to me, that it was really confusing, but you should watch it. And it was Interstellar, made by Christopher Nolan. I know probably you guys might have heard of it. It is one of my favorite films,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually inspired me to deep dive into this subject and research what is this subject. And there is this curiosity that we need to ask questions, and the questions actually keep changing, but it is really important to understand each and every aspect of this science. The questions asked by people, even if it is crazy, it yields results. So that inspired me. And yeah, to get to the point, if someone wants to pursue astronomy as a career, though I am not the appropriate person to be speaking of it, because I haven't achieved greatness yet. So, but yeah, if you talk it from my perspective, then I would suggest that space entrepreneurship is a really good thing. It's a really amazing field. Like if you want to become like Elon Musk, I definitely say you can go for space entrepreneurship. You can develop some really cool ideas, you can develop innovations, and then open up your own company for space. Then you can build up your own community, not as company, but a community of other people of same thinkers, of really great philosophical science thinkers. You can create a community of those students, and then probably pursue your passion. And personally, I am planning to do astropreneurship along with research in the field of astronomy, if you ask me. So probably we'll go to NASA or ISRO or ESA, something like that.
That's great. Congratulations and all the best for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So are there any further questions or something like that?
Yeah, Aditya.
Yeah.
Shankar here.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome presentation, buddy. I just loved it.
Thank you so much.
So I'm really inspired by the interest you got in this field. So I just wanted to ask you this question.
Yeah.
What's the wildest innovation you have imagined? I don't say it exists, but what is that you have imagined in space field?
Okay, so I probably have imagined, and it's really close to my heart, and I don't want to get this dream out of me anytime. So I have imagined it as probably we can invent a device, like already scientists are and enthusiasts are talking about the design, something called a warp technology, a warp drive technology. So I would definitely have a wildest dream that something like that, something sort of that technology could be developed so that we could travel faster than light itself to explore the possibilities of the universe. So yeah, that would be one of my wildest innovations or technology you would say. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So are there any further questions?
Yes, Aditya, Shrikant here.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
I mean, this is more not of a question. I would probably take it more as a fantasy, okay, which I share with you in terms of the space science and AI. Do you think we can achieve alien communication with this kind of technology in the near future?
Yeah, actually, sir, I think there is a possibility, a really great possibility, because uh, the thought is really kind of a scary thought, as well as it is a kind of a it can't be explained. The feeling can't be explained quite, because there are two aspects of it. If we detect alien life, we would be excited to see that new alien life, but at that time you would see that okay, we are not alone in the universe, there might be other life other than them as well. So that
Yes,
would be
yes.
interesting. But if we are struck by this scary thought that we are alone in the universe, then it's really kind of horrible. But still, like if you detect alien life, there are forms to it as well. Probably it might be a really advanced species, or probably mighting like wiping us out of the, out of Earth. So scary thought, but both the possibilities are equally exciting and possible in the future,
It's
definitely.
both scary as well as welcoming as well,
Yeah.
in fact, because yeah, I know as per Hollywood, yes, it's always scary, but you never know. You know, aliens could be good
It's
friends and
actually pretty
companions as
different.
well.
Like Hollywood portrays it in a very different way.
Uh-huh.
Actual the reality behind it is really different from what we see.
Mm-hmm.
Artificial intelligence is not some weird creature popping out of your screen. It is
Mm-hmm.
going to be something like a probably a microorganism or a carbon life form, or something you can't be able to imagine, because we are humans. We are able to see only things which we are programmed with
Mm-hmm.
before we took birth. So we are programmed in a certain way that we imagine only certain things. We can imagine a human being, we can imagine other animals, but we can't imagine a otherworldly human being readily. So that's the thing.
Okay,
So so the
Aditya.
options are not ruled out.
Sorry,
So yeah, good. Thank you.
Aditya.
Yes, sir.
On a risk of asking a silly question, you
No
just
problem.
said we see whatever we are programmed with. So do you think there is a scope of upgrade in our firmware?
Uh, yeah, actually there is. And see, we are, when you when you use the word scope, it
Mm-hmm.
means that we are on a journey. We are on a journey to explore different things. And in this case of computer science and programming as well, developing firmware or whatever it is in that field, we are nowhere actually. We are nowhere. We are just started. We are infants literally. We are a long way to go still, and a lot of technology is already involved in this. Like if you have heard of I guess quantum computing, so it is also a boom in currently Google. The CEO has also dedicated his whole like 50% workforce to quantum computing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is intriguing. It is intriguing, and there is definitely no stopping for humanity to explore greatness. We will be achieving a lot in the future.
Awesome.
Hey, Aditya, this is Anil here.
Okay.
It was a wonderful presentation, and just kind of an extending to the question what Shankar has asked, right?
Okay.
So recently, I'm not sure if you have seen the news that the Elon Musk also has another startup, which basically he has kind of created a chip to install
Yeah,
in
yeah,
a brain, right? They have recently tested with one of the pig where you can kind of detect the brain signals based on the activity that pig is performing. So, yeah, I think the journey is kind of started to upgrade the firmware
yeah.
or kind of install your additional boosters to improve your whatever it is, right? So, but again, as I said, I think as you rightly said, right, it's still a long way to go, but I think we are kind of people are starting putting some efforts in that direction.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, so coming to, I think in the last slide, you had two questions, right? To the second one,
Yeah,
do we want to kind of, stay, go, out of, go to a different, planet out of compulsion, or do we want to stay back?
yeah.
So the question is around, you know, as we all know that it takes light years to travel,
Exactly.
just take it for a Mars exploration kind of a thing, right? And you talked about setting up a colony, which Elon Musk has kind of said planning to kind of launch by 2025, right? So, so there are for a human travel to such a long to a different planet altogether, right? What kind of a research or sustain that kind of travel is being done?
Okay,
What do you think
so
that what's happening in that space? Because it takes
yeah,
many years for a person to travel, like, and
exactly,
sustainability
exactly.
of that travel is also very important. Um,
Exactly. I understood your question, and it is exactly right. Yeah, the thing is that we are limited. Humans are limited. We are having our capacities uh, judged till a single point. We cannot see the thing is that if you talk about space travel in that sense, Mars itself takes, with the current technology we have, with the fastest trajectory, with the fastest rocket, with the absolutely close approach of the Martian orbit and the Earth's orbit, we take 7 to 9 months to reach Mars, and it's a huge amount of time. It's a huge amount of time. And a journey, if it takes a single amount of time, you need to do that multiple number of times to supply the goods and every kind of things, all sort of thing which is used to sustain human life in that planet. So that takes a lot of innovation and a lot of technology. Currently, if you ask about the research which is being made, it is going beyond my imagination since SpaceX has entered this business. Because SpaceX has just turned the cards. Like till 2025, like a statement given by NASA was about 5 years ago, I believe. It was given that by 2050 we would be reaching Mars. The first man on Mars mission would be occurring. well, Elon Musk just turned the cards. He said, okay, I'll be doing it in 2025. So 25 years earlier. So the thing is, we don't know that he would be doing it or he would be possibly doing it, but he has given hope to a lot of people, and he is working according to that time frame. So at the time, NASA has taken a long time frame. So till the time NASA reaches that goal, Elon Musk probably might have reached a lot earlier than NASA. So yeah, research is being made. Technologies like SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets, Starship rockets, all these are being developed. Then Moxie, a device by Caltech, has been developed. Then even India, in that sense, we are ISRO is sending the Shukrayan mission. For the recently came in news of phosphines detected in atmosphere of Venus. So all these kinds of stuff are actually interconnected with each other, though operated by different space agencies. So yeah, that would be, I hope it made sense a bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it was a great presentation. I mean, there are a lot of new things I also learned. I mean, as
Thank you.
mentioned by Kiran and other people. Good luck and wonderful
Thank you so much.
things to know.
Thank you so much.
Great presentation, Aditya, and
We have
please
one
check.
question
Yeah, we'll take
from.
one last question. Before that, please check out his article on space in AA Journal. And he is writing a series of articles which will be published in the next editions as well. So please do check out his articles on space using artificial intelligence. And so let's go to the last question.
There's one question in the chat from Mr. Venkata Vishnu Bhotla.
Okay.
So how do you think astrology even evolved even way before telescope was made, and did our spiritual scientists of India develop AI centuries ago? And this is very interesting question. So
Uh,
Aditya, do you want to throw
I am
some
in
light on it?
favor of actually astrology. The thing is, the thing which we do bad, it is really bad, is we try to separate astrology and astronomy. They are the same part. Astronomy, space sciences, astrology, they are the same part, but they
Mm-hmm.
are right. Like in the recent news, if you have looked, the solar eclipse which we had in June or
Mm-hmm.
July, I guess. I saw debates in the news channel about astrologers contesting with astronomers. I didn't like that, because astrology is the science of the movements of heavenly bodies. It is not the thing that we do that we see in the everyday life, that Rashi and all the zodiac science we call it in India. So it's not actually that. It is the scientific study of the heavenly bodies movements. And according to the our spiritual scientists and all the say, the interesting part is that all the scientists which we had, like Aryabhat and other scientists, they were all saints, and that's they pursued yoga. And the thing is that we didn't have any technology, we didn't invent any, but
Mm-hmm.
we were able to discover a lot of things. And we don't need, Indian scientists do not need any uh, we don't need any certification from NASA or ESA that we were correct or not. We were right, because it is now being proved, and it will be proved till the end. I guess it will be continued to an eternity, because great things have been done by Indian scientists. Aryabhat and all the scientists discovered, they said that uh, the world is round. That in the word we can say khagol. Khagol is basically astronomy, Indian astronomy. So khagol has the word goal in it. So we knew that it was a sphere from the very beginning. So yeah, that's that's just it. It's self-explanatory that what discoveries we have made are still great, and they will be actually.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. That's a good perspective of yours. So, yeah, I mean, there's always a debate on
Yeah.
that. I know it's a never-ending topic, but still, again, yeah, your perspective and your way of looking at it, which is good. Yeah. So, I appreciate your talk and the way you threw light on this one, and there's lot that we can really explore in this direction. And I'll take this occasion to just float one, throw some light on what soil does here. In fact, thanks Aditya for creating this occasion. In fact,
Thank you so much,
so
for
like
providing
we,
this opportunity.
oh yeah, any day. That's all soil is for. Okay, so basically we are very much at soil interested in working on this. The alien communication, trying to understand the space science. As you said, like you're not a subject matter expert. Yes, neither we. But soil is the place for venture-based learning, and it all starts with the passion, interest, and the problem statements here. And we are in the process of actually establishing this division or a lab, a cluster of labs in this direction. And we are very happy to welcome the existing subject matter experts, as well as the enthusiastic student or the Gen Z community to participate. And, like Aditya, and starting with the storytelling at the journal, and then, at the labs, and, probably in the next few years from now, as we heard, we've been hearing about Elon Musk and the other brands, or maybe the institutions coming up with real good outcomes in this space. And I wish even soil contributes to this spectrum through some good innovations and inventions coming in the future. So it's a welcome to anyone who wishes to participate with us in these lab efforts or the research at soil. So thank you so much, Aditya, once again.
Thank you everybody for attending this session. It was lovely being here and imparting my knowledge. Thank you so much. And I would then move it over to Sahiti for further end of this session. So here to you, Sahiti.
Yeah, great. Lovely session, Aditya. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot of new, interesting topics and points. I hope all of you did too. And thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you here aboard. And we are available on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So you can find us there, or you can reach out to us on our website, www.soilcampus.com, where you can apply as well to become a part of Soil. And thank you so much for today. I would just request everyone to take 2 minutes and just fill in the form once again. And I have just put it in the chat box. And I hope you have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Sahiti, also please make note of the questions.
Yeah.
In that window, we can share it with Aaditya and
yeah,
for further interaction.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you all, and thank you, Sahiti, for this, for your efforts, all your efforts, in hosting this event. Wonderful job. Okay.
No problem, sir.
Thank
Well
you,
done,
thank you,
Aaditya.
Aditya.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much. Thank you, everybody.
And thank you, Sahiti.
No problem, sir. It was my pleasure.